Hello and welcome back to Sherwood Park Toyota. Today we're looking at a Toyota Sienna LE all-wheel drive in the color black. Let's take a look. Starting up front, underneath the hood, we have the gas components of the hybrid energy system. It is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine, automatic transmission, gets up to 245 horsepower, 263 pound-foot of torque, towing capacity up to 3,500 pounds. Up front, you've got your LED headlights, customer daytime running lights, and that blue Toyota hybrid logo. Onto the side, you've got 17-inch alloy wheels. Then, as you move back, you'll find all of your rear windows come with factory tinting, and up top, we have black roof rails. Now, on the back of the unit here, on the right-hand side, you have your LE trim level badge. Left-hand side, you have the HEV hybrid as well as the all-wheel drive badges. Sienna logo the whole way across the back. Again, blue Toyota hybrid logo. Underneath all of this is your backup camera. To open up your cargo space, reach next to the camera, press the button, and lift upwards. Naturally, inside we have both the second and third row seating. Second row seating is a 40-20-40 split, meaning that this middle section works separately from each side. It is actually fully removable inside there if you want to have a walkway in between the two spaces, but we can talk more about that in a sec when we get up front there. For the third row, we have a 60-40 split on the right-hand side, so a larger section on the left, smaller section on the right. For your third row occupants, they have access to plenty of their own cup holder as well as charger spaces on each side. And there are multiple ways that you can arrange this third row seating area. We do have this little diagram that you can see on the left here, showing some of the different ways you can move your seats around using the number 1 and number 2 pulley systems. Number 1 is this hard handle, number 2 is this strap. So this exists on both of these sides. We have two of these setups in front of you here. Of course, one of them is the typical upright seating, which is meant for passenger seating. The second one is a typical just lay down, so you simply pull on the strap and it will lay the seat down flat, just folding forward. The third option is a stow and go method. So you can grab onto this number 1 handle and pull the seats backwards to lay flat down underneath in this extra deep storage space that you see down below. So if you have both of these seats downwards and pulled into the stow and go method, they will fill up this space down here and create this large flat bed space across the back here, which would be really useful if you have a large item that you want to put into the back or you need to use a lot of space around you. Otherwise, if you have passengers, it is much easier to simply have the seats upright or folded slightly forward. Then you have this extra deep space that goes down below that you can put even more items into as well. Down below here, you may also notice that we have the Sienna carpeted mats. You can see the labeling along the far edge there. Still in their factory packagings, of course. All the units come with both carpeted and rubber sets of mats. To close up your space back here, just reach up to the handle on the right-hand side and pull the trunk back down into its starting position. Next, let's go take a look at the inside. To open up your rear space, you got a couple of options. One of them is to press on this little button on the outside. Second one, you can simply pull on the handle. If you pull properly, there we go. And then it will slide itself the rest of the way over. This gives you easy access to the inside. There's a couple different options for closing it, which includes those two options that we discussed on the outside. We'll talk about that when we get to the end of this section. So inside your interior upholstery here is the gray cloth. It has gray stitching, and you can see this more heathered texture that is in the middle panels of the seats themselves. As we said, the middle section here is actually able to function independently from each side. So you have these little straps, once again labeled number 1 and 2. 2 is down below, 1 is up above, and there are instructions inside the vehicle that will tell you exactly how to, but you can take this whole seating section out, which some people choose to do in order to, if you don't need all of this extra seating, you can just get extra space going straight backwards. Maybe you want that little bit of extra floor space, whatever your needs happen to be. For adjusting the seats themselves, there are controls down below on the sides. There are actually little diagrams that are engraved into them that show you which controls do which options. So this handle on the top here, which will allow you to adjust the pitch of your seats, including folding it flat forward. The larger one down below is a handle, so you lift this guy upwards and allows you to move the seats along these tracks that you see that go across the floor. So as you can imagine, there is quite a large amount of space, so you can move your seats forwards, backwards, and everywhere in between. in order to accommodate you in any of your cargo or passenger needs. This also allows you to get quick, easy access to the third row seating for occupants back there if you do have this middle section in, or if passengers just don't feel like walking in between the two seats to get back there. Now for the second row seats, as you can see, there are armrests both on the inside as well as here on the outside of the seats that can be folded down at any point in time if you would like to use them for comfort purposes. Now, looking up top on top of the roof, you have this third zone air conditioning control panel. This allows for your second and third row occupants to control their own temperature, fan speed, and mode. This can be controlled from up front. We'll take a look at that when we get up there. On the back of your second or your first row seats, both the passenger and front driver seats, you have pouch storage. Back of the console, you have these charger ports up top. Down below, you've got cup holder spaces, and currently we have the Sienna rubber mats installed in the unit. Lastly, if you look inside either one of these windows, you'll see this little black piece. It is inside both of these. This is your built-in sunshade. It's a little hard to reach back to fully demonstrate. You can reach in and lift this little hook upwards. Then you can see these little holes that exist on either side. They connect with the hooks up top, so it allows you to raise this all the way upwards and creates this nice little shade on the windows. You can still see through them, so you can see what's going on in your surroundings, but it prevents the sun from burning on anybody's eyes. Now, to close up your space back here, as we said, you can use the two handle options that we talked about at the start here. You can reach inside of the door, and there's another handle on the inside right there, or if you look underneath either one of these little handles that are inside of the doors, go all the way down underneath. You've got this button down below. Give that guy a press, and again, your door will automatically slide closed. Now, going inside of your driver's door, power windows here for both front and back. You've got your window lock, power lock system, and side mirror controls. Lots of storage spaces throughout the door. Inside, you have power adjustable seating, back, front, up, down, and lumbar support. Then you've got your hood release latch on the bottom left-hand corner of the dash. On top of that is the gas release as well as the power door off. So this allows you to turn on and off the ability for anybody in the second/third row area back there to be able to control the doors opening from the inside with those two methods we discussed at the end. Instead, if you have this turned off, it means that they can only be opened from the outside or using the buttons up top here. We'll see those near the end of our video tour. On top of here, you've got your traction control, automatic headlamps, and heated steering wheel control. You also have dash brightness and odometer trip, and you got a little storage space up top. Taking a look at the steering wheel, it is black leather with black stitching. Left side here is controls for the dash display. You've got your hands-free communication and the volume control. Right-hand side, radio controls on the bottom, adaptive cruise control up top, which includes both a sonar and lane departure on the left there. In the middle is your infotainment display screen. This is where you go to access much of the information about your daily driving experience. Right now you are looking at the optional navigation, which you can choose to connect through Toyota Connected Services. Then you've got audio listening. This is AM, FM, and satellite radio. Full Bluetooth connectivity includes Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and there's optional USB adapters throughout the vehicle. In the middle is a phone connectivity via Bluetooth. You would also use this for hands-free communication. Then we have your two things in here. One is climate display, so you have it for the front, for the back, and your additional options, which is your Eco Heat Cool setting. And then in here you also have your classical trip info. Then all the way at the bottom is your settings. So everything from personal profile, Bluetooth information, notifications, Wi-Fi display, vehicle customizing, dealer info, software updates, etc. Left-hand corner here is your volume control. Underneath is climate control center. We have dual climate control up front here, which means that driver and front passenger can have temperatures turned off separately. You can choose to have everything synced up so that the whole vehicle is having the same temperature at all times. As you can see, you also have this middle section which controls the rear, so you can go in and control these guys separately if you so wish, or you can choose to have it synced up to the front. As you can see, it will work in contingent with your front driver's controls. There's lots of different arrangements to make sure that everybody is comfortable at each time. Up front, there is the additional option of having 3 levels of heated seat controls for both the driver and the front passenger there. Defrost for front and rear windshield are right in the middle. To the left here, you have your four-ways and push-start ignition. You've got one of your charger adapters on the left here, and then you have a wireless charging pad on the right. So there are little bumpers that go across either side, and then a built-in tray design in the back here, as well as, of course, the wall back there, which makes sure that any phone placed in that space isn't going to go slip-sliding around when you're actually out and on the road. It also creates a nice divide between the two sides, so if you put an item on one side of this front shelf, it's not going to accidentally slide down and end up on the other side, way outside of arm's reach. Having this wireless charging pad also means that you don't ever have to worry about having charging cords on your person in the vehicle ever again, though of course if that's your preference, you do have charger adapters throughout the vehicle, including some inside of the console, which we'll see in just a second. We also have the cup holder spaces here in the middle. In behind, you have the little pop-away ones that pop up and away for you. Gear shift in the middle, you have parking brake and parking hold, EV mode, and driving modes there too. All the way in the back is your console. So you press this button here, and it will allow for this to pop open. You've got super deep storage, goes all the way down, all the way up to my elbow here. You've got your charger adapters on the left. You also have this little cutout on the side here, which means that if you have some cords inside there and want to worm them out, they're not going to get pinched off in the seam. They can come out through the little side. This is a great place for holding a phone up front if it's not in the charging pad, and so is this little flat space on the front end there too. Underneath, you've got some additional storage space, and you have some 12 adapters inside there as well. On the right-hand side, down below, you've got a lockable glove compartment. Up overhead, you have what appears to be a sunglasses compartment, but it is in fact a mirror. So if you are used to driving lots of people around inside of your vehicle, you may be familiar with the situation of using your rear windshield to take a closer look at what's going on in your second or third row seats. No more should that be your problem. You can instead dedicate this one to simply keeping an eye on traffic behind yourself as it is designed to do. And then this one is made specifically for having this more of a fisheye view, which rounds it out and allows you to have a full view of everybody who is in your second and third row seats. On top of that, you've got your SOS button, overhead lighting controls, and controls up top here for both of your power rear doors. Thanks again, folks, for joining us on this full video tour for this Toyota Sienna LE all-wheel drive in the color black. It is located here at Sherwood Park Toyota at 31 Automall Road in Sherwood Park, Alberta. You can also reach us at 780-306-7703. And remember, life is full of choices. Let us be yours.